Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Nikki Free, and today I am going to dig a little bit into this whole Nicki Minaj love train. Now, as you guys all know, Nicki Minaj has had a hate train on her for quite some time now, and there have been a lot of people jumping on that train. There have been a lot of people who have been conductors of this train. But now all of a sudden, it's like we're all in the twilight zone. People are coming out the woodworks, and they are Nikki, 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 Nikki. Nikki's the queen. Nikki's the best. Nikki's the greatest. And it's like, what? And the funny thing is, just less than 2 months ago, the hate train was still going on. So there was not even like a seamless transition into this. It was just like one day, it was just decided that the hate train was over. And it's over, people. Now, this is a perfect example of why you have to have your own mind and you have to like who you like. Forget what society says, forget what popular trends are or what have you. Whoever you like them. And just stick with them, support them, and leave it at that. Now, all the people who were on the hate train for Nicki Minaj jumped on it without really doing proper research. A lot of people jumped on the hate train because it was just cool. It was the thing to do. It was just, just following their followers. A lot of people are sheep. So they jumped on the hate train and they hated on this person for no real valid reasons at the time. Now, some people will argue that they did have good reasons. And you know what? That's fine. But I have to say, a lot of people who were on this hate train were just on it just because we had this new person or these new people being ushered in, and the record labels and the media who control really the minds of the masses. They control what you think or what you want to listen to. Believe it or not, they have a lot of control over what people do. And because people don't really take the time these days to do a lot of research or to really just say, nah, I'm going to stick with who I like how people used to. There was a time before all this internet stuff where you had your favorite, it was like Team Michael Jackson or Team Prince or whoever. I just threw those examples out there. But you liked who you liked, and you didn't give a damn how many #1s Michael Jackson put out. You were a Prince fan. Or you didn't care what Prince was doing, how many Purple Rains he put out. You were a Michael Jackson fan, and Michael Jackson was the best, period. And that's just what it was. No matter how many scandals they tried to come with, or no matter how much they tried to usher, new people in, people stuck to who they liked, I feel, like in the 90s, or in maybe the early 2000s. But with the internet getting bigger and with people being more influenced by these social media apps, things started to take a turn to where it was like whoever was most popular was the one that they generally started going with, especially the younger generation. So that left Nikki in a sticky situation because on top of that situation being ushered in, the internet and the popularity and the apps and all of that, something else was being ushered in, and that was the hate train. And like I said, also the popularity thing where it goes by who's popular, and that is controlled by the media, the record labels. They can do tricks and things to make things appear to be what they're not. I feel like a lot of what's on social media, a lot of what goes on in Hollywood and things like that, a lot of those things are smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. And for me, as far as the way things have been going with Nicki Minaj, I feel like if you can't see what's coming next, then you're blind. All of these people did similar when Cardi B was being ushered in. And this is what I mean. Similar, but in reverse. When Cardi B was being ushered in, everything was a problem when it came to Nicki. Nicki was this, Nicki was that, Nicki was this, in a negative light. And Cardi B was everything in a positive light. And no matter what Cardi B did, it was never as bad as this Nicki Minaj. Even when Cardi B, the thing that really shocks me is even when Cardi B threw the shoe at Nicki, it was kind of like just swept under the rug. And I want to be clear, I have no dog in this fight. I'm no Cardi B, Nicki, Megan. I wouldn't say I was a fan of any of them. You know, when I say fan, you know, like they're my favorites. You know, I wouldn't say that about any of them. So it has nothing to do, this video has nothing to do with me being a fan or someone who's trying to stick up for my fave. No, not at all. This video is about people being sheep, pretty much. And you just watch it. If you don't believe me, just watch how the trend is going to go now. Everything is going to be fine with Nicki. They're going to slowly but surely let you know that Nicki is great. And they're dropping little nuggets at you already. We have Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams in the urban, you know, media is huge. You know, Wendy Williams is huge, period. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to urban, you know, like urban media, she's a talk show host, but, you know, she basically covers urban things, if you will, urban commentary. Wendy Williams is huge. She's the biggest. She's the GOAT. She's the, you know, pioneer. And her and Nicki had a horrible, horrible, horrible relationship. I've even done videos about some of the things with Wendy calling Nicki. I don't think I may have done one video, or maybe two, but for sure I did one. And Wendy has always been at Nicki's neck, on her neck, you know, and even if she gives her a compliment, it would be a backhanded compliment, you know, like, and that was a compliment just because she had no other choice. But now, Wendy has even come out and said these other girls basically aren't touching Nicki. Nicki is the GOAT. Nicki is the queen of female rap, and just giving Nicki all her props. Wendy, like, I never thought I would see the day that Wendy Williams would speak that way about Nicki Minaj. I mean, she just straight up gave her props and said she was the queen of rap. What? So if you guys can't see what's coming, I don't know what to tell you. But I will tell you this. Another group of people who said they didn't even play Nicki's music, you know, they were just so Team Cardi that they had nothing good to say about Nicki. And this is what's so sad, I think. I think it's sad that people feel like if they're Team Cardi, they can't be Team Nicki. But, you know, they feel like they have to pick one. And I don't know what started that. I don't know if Nicki or Cardi had anything to do with that. I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. But I do feel that it's very strange that people have a hard time just giving both ladies respect and giving both ladies, you know, their flowers. Why can't both of them have their flowers? Why do you have to hate one and love the other? Like, I always thought that was very strange. However, with the Breakfast Club, they definitely were rooting Cardi on. They were Team Cardi. They were really, really, really into Cardi. They were really rooting for her. And they really had no love for Nicki Minaj during that era, during the hate train. They were, you know, a part of the people who were definitely not here for Nicki Minaj. So when Nicki Minaj wasn't popular, when she was, you know, no one really was messing with her, like, it was like you knew you were going to get backlash if you went for Nicki, if you rooted for Nicki, kind of thing. The safe bet was Cardi. Back when all that was going on, the Breakfast Club definitely showed that they were not Team Nicki in any way. But then they recently come out now and talk about how Nicki is, you know, basically so great, how talented, you know, she's, you know, everything good. Nicki. it's just amazing how the music industry is now and how it's so controlled. Forget talent. You know, they're just like, who cares about talent? Everything now is based on who, how popular you are, who likes you, and who the masses say can be in right now. So I guess the tides have turned. They decided that they don't want to do the Nicki hate train anymore. The Nicki hate train is over. So now you see all these people coming out. How do I feel about that? I feel that Nicki Minaj hasn't really, I don't want to say she hasn't missed a beat, because I do think Nicki Minaj missed opportunities. I do think that she was affected by this quote unquote hate train. But the one thing I will say that is so refreshing in 2021 is to see someone come out of this storm, you know, and it just lets you know that no matter, I mean, what I get out of this is that no matter how much you're down, or no matter how much pain you're going through, or how many people kick you while you're down, you can always come back if you believe in yourself. You know, you have to believe in yourself and just come back and just keep fighting for what you believe in. Now, Nikki, what prompted all this whole Nicki Love Train thing, was that Nikki did a live last Friday. In that live, I think they had like 1 million people in there. The live went crazy. You know, it went crazy. There were a couple of things that came out of the live. One thing was Nikki was debuting, or no, Nikki was putting her mixtape out, Beam Me Up Scotty. She was putting that mixtape out on streaming platforms that had never been done before by her. So she hadn't put her mixtapes on the streaming platform, so she decided to come back from her hiatus with these mixtapes. And the mixtapes end, she added 3 new songs. So everyone was, well, I'm not sure. I had never heard, I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I had never heard Beat Me Up Scotty, even like in the past. I had never heard it before, because I hadn't heard that mixtape before. I've heard a lot of Nicki's songs, but more like her, the songs that I like the most with Nicki are a lot of her songs like where she has collabs with Drake. I love the song Break It Up. There's a lot of songs she has that I like, but I didn't really listen to her like way back then. I'm gonna be, you know, completely honest. I never listened to her back then. So I didn't know much about the Beam Me Up Scotty, but I did, the Itty Bitty Piggy, I think that one I heard it, I believe on Issa Rae's, she did that I think on one of her YouTube videos, one of her little skits that she used to do on YouTube, or maybe it was on Insecure, but I definitely heard that song before, and that's like a really popular song. And then she did like 3 new songs. I did listen to the 3 new songs, Fractions and Seeing Green. Those 2 out of the 3 new songs she did, those 2 were my favorites. I really liked Seeing Green because I really like 90s and early 2000s music, and it really took me back. It just made me feel really nostalgic, and I love the feeling. I thought it was great. And then the Fractions, I loved how she was just kind of going in and just kind of like in her bag and just saying what needed to be said for her to feel like she's letting people know that she's back. So that was really good, and I really thought the songs were pretty good, and you know, hey, why not put out the mixtape? She's not ready to, she's probably still working on her album. She's putting it out just to give you a little teaser. I also think that Nicki put all this out because she wanted to kind of get a feel for what people are kind of looking for too. I mean, because think about it. She hasn't been out in a while. The music game is constantly changing. Everything is so fast and it's just changing. And, you know, right now, TikTok is the wave, you know, so people aren't even worried about making good music. They're just making worried about making something that 12 and 13-year-olds can dance to. And, well, I shouldn't say 12 and 13-year-olds, but, you know, older than that too. But, you know, I'm just saying younger people can like make a dance to and it go viral. That is a lot of people's goals these days. They just want to make something that they can get a quick dance out of, TikTok, and go. The problem with that is TikTok is not always going to be around. So once TikTok is gone, I shouldn't say TikTok is not always going to be around. What I'm saying is the craze, because people jump on bandwagons. You know, they're jumping on this bandwagon. There'll be another wave. They'll jump on that. So right now, this is the wave, but you still have to remember that after this is not the popular thing to do, what kind of music are you putting out there? Because if it was just for a dance, then it's not going to have replay value like outside of TikTok, you know? So I did notice that Nikki did mention like TikTok. This is not no TikTok. And for a lot of us, we like real music. I like real music. Like, I like listening to bands. Like, one of my favorite bands, like when I think of bands, I love some of the like 90s, 80s, 90s rock bands, like how they had such talent. Like when I think of like NXS, I Need You Tonight. You know, when I think of songs like that, just like real talent and songs that for sure, even now, I can listen to over and over and over again. When I think of groups like Prince and the Revolution, you know, I think about the talent of that band and how when I listen to the songs, the instruments, the singing, like I want to listen to those songs over and over again to this day. And a lot of those songs are so old. A lot of those songs are, you know, way before, you know, well, of course, way before the internet, but just, you know, before our time. You know, a lot of the songs that were way before our time is what I'm saying. Way before we were born. Things like that. What I'm saying is a lot of these songs that were out, these groups, they worked hard. They went to bars and they played and they got bottles thrown at them and they grinded and they kind of like mastered their craft and they got to where they were good, and then they got on MTV and these different platforms and they made it. But the point is these people worked hard, you know, and when you listen to the music, you can hear the passion, you can hear real music, you can hear people who weren't just throwing something together, you know, just for popularity. These people actually loved making music and they actually loved their craft. They loved the idea of putting this music together. And to me, that shows, as opposed to someone who is making a song for TikTok. That shows too. You know, you listen to it and you're like, what the? If you're not a certain age thing and you're not on TikTok and you're not like, you know, trying to do the TikTok thing, you're like, well, the song has no value to you. You know, what's the point? And so what I'm saying is a lot of us like real music. I like real music. I like to hear, like, I love watching documentaries. I just watched a documentary about Michael Hutchence. He's like one of my favorite singers, and he actually came out and said how like he wrote his songs and how he wrote with another gentleman in the band, and I believe his name is Andrew. Him and Andrew wrote all of those songs and how they collaborated and how the songs had meaning. You know, the songs were about things that were going on in their lives. To me, when I know that an artist took the time to write their songs, and these songs have such deep meaning to them, you know, and they sound so good and they sound so like well done, it makes me appreciate the music that much more. But I don't know. Anyways, I'm rambling. The point is, back to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, I feel, is the same. Like, I feel like if we're to watch, she has a documentary coming out. If we're to watch the documentary, I feel like she will have something to tell us, you know, about the music that she writes and how she got into things and how she, you know, wrote the music because of this was going on or that was going on. Like, it has meaning and it's quality music. You know what I mean? Like, when they take the time to write from the heart and when they're a true artist and they give you their talents and they give you their all, I feel like that is so special, and that is what I personally look for in an artist. I think my favorite, well, not I think, my favorite artist as far as musician goes is Prince. You know, Prince for sure is my favorite because the talent, undeniable, you know, and his ability to just be himself. You know, unapologetically be himself. I love that about Prince. I loved how he just was an artist, you know, and he played the instruments, he wrote the songs, he did the work, you know, and I feel that I appreciated that. And when I listen to the music, when I listen to the lyrics of Adore or If I Was Your Girlfriend, you know, when you listen to his lyrics, it's like, wow, you know, it's like mind-blowing. It's like amazing. It's like you can hear what he's saying clearly and it just resonates. And I love that. So there is a population out there who enjoys real music. And then, of course, and I don't want to minimize, I say all this not to minimize what other artists are doing today, because I think each generation has the right to have the kind of music that they enjoy and the kind of music that they want. Who am I to tell this generation that their music, they should be more like the music of the 90s or the music of the 80s or what have you? That's not what I mean. What I mean is I personally, and a lot of people personally, still enjoy that caliber of artist, someone who's going to give you that type of artistry. And then you have this, you know, like I said, this generation who has a different idea of what's good music. And it's fine, because when we were growing up, our parents most certainly, I'm sure, said our music was trash and their music was the best. So, which I don't know though, because I feel like I liked a lot of the music that my mom liked too, but I did have a young mom, so that could have something to do with it, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, I feel like now we're kind of divided. You know, I feel like there was a time when we weren't as divided when it comes to music. I feel like now with the internet and with all of this, we're so divided. It's crazy. But back to Nicki. Nicki Minaj, she came out, she did her live. Okay. So the live, one thing about that live, I feel like Nicki probably should have, I think she was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I think she was a little nervous on that live. It was her first time back. There were, as soon as she got on, there were like 500,000 people in there. So there's a lot of people. The expectation is high. She's just coming off of a hate train. You know, she doesn't know what to expect. And then as she's in the live, she's actually coming clean to us and letting us know that she actually had like a bit of writer's block. She had like, she's been going through it. Her father passed away. She just had a baby. There's a lot going on in her life, you know, so she kind of like opened up and kind of like was being a bit transparent with her fans, letting them know, hey, I've had a lot going on. I've had writer's block. I've had this. I've had that. But even with all of that, I feel like I think she had allergies, or what she said, she had allergies. People were saying that it was something else. People were saying that it was, were accusing her of doing coke. So that kind of like got things, I don't know. I think that kind of got to her a bit, because she's like, here I am coming back Perhaps she could have taken something to help her with her allergies before she went on the live. I don't know, because honestly, I've never had allergies in my life. So I don't feel like I'm one that can speak on it. I've just never had allergies. And I've lived all over the U.S. in places that some places that people say have a lot of pollen. And now I live in LA, and pollution, terrible air quality. And I just, I haven't had allergies in all my life. So I don't know how, when people say allergies, I don't know how that, affects people. I just, so I can't speak to how she could have prevented the sniffling, but she did have the sniffles, and people assume that. Another thing, I have never taken, drugs, so I don't know the symptoms of what you would be like after you do that. So for me, honestly, my mind didn't go there. I did think, why doesn't she just go blow her nose? That was the thing I was thinking. Like, why doesn't she just go blow her nose? Like, geez, it's a lie. They put the camera up anyway. Like when they were waiting for Drake, they do it all the time. Just put the camera up where we can't see it. Put it up towards the ceiling. Blow your freaking nose and come back. You're in bad shape right now, girl. Blow your nose. It's okay. But so there are a few people who were still, convinced that Nikki was under some influence of something. And she came out and she, pretty much said, no, that's not the case. That's not what happened. What happened is I have allergies. Now, I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I've never had allergies. I don't know what allergies looks like. And I'm being completely honest with you. But she says she has allergies. She says she always has been a sniffly person. Now, I have a friend, I had a friend in high school who had really bad something, maybe it was allergies, I don't know, something where she actually had to have surgery. But she was always blowing her nose, like to the point where it was like, oh my God, it was crazy. She was always blowing her nose, always, constantly. So I guess maybe she had something like that, but at any rate, this is my first time seeing Nicki Minaj, like sniffle like that. I don't think I've ever seen her at any of the events or wherever I've seen her. I've never seen her like with the sniffles like that. So it was like a bit like, like, I was just thinking, why doesn't she go blow her nose? But people did come back with that. That seemed to be something that she didn't like. She addressed it. She said that wasn't the case. Case closed. Even with that little scandal, people were still team Nikki. And that's how you know the hate train is pretty much over. Because back, 2 months ago and prior, they would have used that to drag her. They would have disregarded the whole rollout. They would have only focused on that and that only. So this is letting you know that the tides are turning. I feel like Nicki Minaj is now going to be given some of the, I guess, flowers that she didn't get during her hate train. I feel like now people are going to ease up on her. And I'm curious to see what this is going to look like for the other girls. Are we going to all be able to live in harmony? Because a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with Meg, because she has some lines in her rap, in her song about well, she didn't say Megan's name, but it's kind of obvious she was talking about Megan. She said that, basically saying the girls were thirsty, no wonder they're alcoholics. And you know that Megan is very mixy, and people have talked a lot about her drinking. She's always drinking. So people talk a lot about Megan's drinking. That's what Megan's known for, twerking and drinking. That's like two of the things that she's really, really known for. So for her to come out and say that, it's like, well, we know there won't be any Megan Thee Stallion collabs anytime soon. And it's kind of like, I don't think I don't know. There was something that they said she said about Cardi, or could possibly been talking about Cardi. I don't know. The point is, I'm just curious to know how things are going to pan out when all the girls are out. Looks like that will be summertime. I think everybody's gearing up to put something out for the summertime, which is good. I mean, we need good music. We're coming out of a rough 2020, rough 2021. 2021, we're seeing a little bit, a glimmer of hope. But 2021 was rough, and so everybody now is trying to put that, put that in the past, and they're trying to move forward. So everyone is looking forward to the summer. And I must say, I feel like because of everything we went through last year, I think that kind of has something to do with it now too. I think people are now just trying to, I don't want to say do the right thing, because there are so many people who are not doing the right thing, but I feel like 2020 kind of twisted things to where a lot of things are being addressed that haven't been addressed in the past. A lot of people are seeing things kind of like unfold in a way that they haven't seen them unfold in the past. And I mean like kind of like for the better. And I feel like this whole Nicki Minaj thing is fitting. You know, I think it goes right in line with what we're coming off of in 2020. I think we're going in a different direction now, and it's time to turn the tides a bit. And I don't think that means that the other girls can't be just as successful or just as popular as they were before. I think, again, people need to support who they support. If you like Nicki and you like Cardi, support them both. It's okay. You know, you can have more than one favorite. You know, it is what it is. It's like I said, just support your artist. It doesn't mean that you have to hate the other artists, basically. If that, I mean, no one can deny Bodak Yellow was a great body of work. That was an amazing body of work. You know, I thought it was just, that was great. I mean, I feel like that album, Cardi did her thing on that album, period. So no matter who you were a fan of, you can't say that, well, I should say what you can and can't say. Of course you can say you didn't like Bodak Yellow because, I'm sorry, not Bodak Yellow. Well, Bodak Yellow was a great song, but I'm saying you can't, Invasion of Privacy, that was the name of the album. I suppose you could have not liked the album. What I'm saying is, I feel like that was a good body of work. I don't think, yeah, that was a good body of work. I think she deserved, you know, her accolades for that. I think she worked hard on that album. And, yeah, it is what it is. However, I do feel like a time has come now where it's time to separate the boys from the men, if you will, or the girls from the women, or whatever, however that saying goes. Because I do feel like there has been a lot of people in the industry who have been kind of throwing out mediocre stuff, you know, and that's no one in particular, and that's not just saying females. I'm saying females and males. I just feel like everyone, it's a good time for everyone to just step their game up and give the public what they want, and that's good music. I think there's been too much emphasis on scandals. There's been too much emphasis on trying to go viral, just doing anything you can to be relevant. I think all of that is, I shouldn't say be relevant. That's not necessarily the term I meant. Just basically trying to be in the eye of the public for things outside of music. When that is what you're here for, music. All these scandals, all these tricks, and all of this publicity stunts, all of that, that's fine and dandy. For the blogs to kind of talk about, I guess. But at the end of the day, where is the music? Where's the music? And most people aren't delivering music, quality music, in my opinion. I think they're just doing whatever They just throwing everything on the wall and just trying to see what sticks. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting a bunch of people just throwing everything they can on the wall, and whatever sticks, sticks, and whatever doesn't, just let it fall by the wayside. Who cares? You know, and it's like people need to take their craft, I think, a little more seriously. And just, you know, even if the music, like I said, who cares what kind of music you're making? It doesn't have to be the kind of music that everybody likes. Because like I said, this generation has what they like. They're doing what they like, and that is fine. But in doing what you like, I do think that you should put effort into making a good album, making a good, you know, solid album that your fans can enjoy. Because everyone is not your fan. That's another thing. So while a lot of these artists are taking the time to sit back and argue with all these people on the internet who are not your fans, you have a whole fan base out there who loves you, who are waiting for you to feed them music. Because a true fan, I'm going to say this and kind of wrap this up, a true fan really wants to know about is interested in your craft. You know, you're a fan of someone because you like their music. You're not a fan of someone because they're dating this person or because they got caught doing this. That's not why you became their fan. You became their fan because of the music or because of their acting or whatever. So at any rate, back to the Nicki situation. I think you're going to see a lot more people coming forward. You see, there's always already been other people like this. It wasn't, it was Carisha from the City Girls asking Nicki to unblock her. And the City Girls have, you know, I think their goal is to get a feature with Nicki. And, you know, Cardi gave them the feature. And so now they want a feature with Nikki, you know, and I think and I shouldn't say now they've been wanting a feature with Nikki, but I don't really see that happening. You know, I don't see that happening, but I think that's their goal. And I think that's why they're coming back to say, hey, Nikki, unblock me. Hey, this. Here's the thing. They have said problematic things in the past, and I really don't see Nikki. Well, I don't know. So is Wendy. Stranger things have happened. I don't know what's going to happen with Nikki. Nikki seems to be, I think motherhood changes people. Nikki seems to be a lot more forgiving these days. Like I said, I never thought I'd see the day that her and Wendy would squash their beef. And Wendy told her that she was, you know, basically the GOAT. And she came back and told Wendy the same thing. She was a queen and, you know, gave Wendy her flowers and all of that. So you never know. Stranger things can happen. So hold out, City Girls, because Nikki is in a very, very, very forgiving mood. So you never know. But I don't really see Nikki doing a collab with the City Girls right now. The City Girls right now, they have a lot going on. And I feel like, especially like with JT, there's been like a lot of like controversy lately. I'm not going to go into that because this video is already getting long, but I don't know. I don't know as far as Nikki goes. I would like to see Nikki do music with Drake. You know, I like Nikki and Drake rapping together. You know, they got the song together, Seeing Green. I like those two together. I would like to see them work more together. I like Nikki rapping with the guys. She does good rapping with the guys. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know all of her music, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know all of her music, but I'm trying to think if there's a female that I would like to see Nikki with. I don't know. I can't really think right now who I would think, because she already did Doja Cat, she already did Meg Thee Stallion. I just feel like when I think because she's on that level, and I feel like she can hang so well with the men. for me personally, I just like her rapping with men. And I know that now we're in this era of all the women, kumbaya, let's get together. I don't think that necessarily has to happen for her to, support other artists, not be beefing with other female artists. I don't think she has to just hop on all these songs with all these female rappers, because it doesn't necessarily work, all the time. You can't just hop on the song with everybody, I don't think. I think the chemistry has to be there. I think it has to be the right song, and et cetera, et cetera. So Nicki is just one of those rappers who I think she does well with men. I think Little Kim did well with the male rappers as well. Like she was another one that was good with the male rappers. Some women, and Foxy. I think some of the more talented, or I shouldn't say more talented, because I don't want to. Because I do feel like the other ladies, the new ladies, are talented too, some of them. But I just feel like some of the, I should say, OGs, they have something about them that they do very well with male rappers. And I don't know what that is, and I'm not even trying to figure it out. It's just me, when I listen to it, that's what I like. Also, who else came out? Okay, so many people came out, like Nicki's old stylist. I said The Breakfast Club, her old stylist came out. Basically, he wants to come back in and be with Nicki. It's just like people are coming out the woodwork it's like people have been waiting for the chance to come. Now I just feel like all these people are just like, oh, finally, Nicki, I always liked you, blah, blah, blah. But my thing is, when I was down and everyone was kicking me, where were you? Where were you? I think that's how I would be thinking. But I am a Virgo. So, us Virgos, we tend to look back at the things you've done in the past and remember them. So, Nicki may not be that way because she's not a Virgo. But I would definitely be thinking like, well, what about when the hate train was going on? Where were you? Kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like a lot more people are going to come out the woodwork and, try to reach out to Nicki, which is great. I think I'm glad that, even with Wendy, I was glad to see it. Anything positive, I think we need it right now. So it is what it is. I mean, if she's going to be in this mode of forgiveness, let her. Let her. It's great. Let her forgive them. Let's move on. Let's appreciate talented people. Let's appreciate people who love their craft, who pour their hearts into their crafts, who really give a damn about the music. Let's support these people, And again, I don't think there should be any type of hate or any type of, I just feel like everybody should like who they like. I just feel like whoever you support them. Whoever you want to be, whoever your favorite is, let them be your favorite and move on. But I guess my main thing with this video is that a change is coming, and I feel like the Nicki Minaj hate train is over, and you're going to see a lot of people changing their tunes because people hop on bandwagons. So a lot of the people that are coming forth, I don't think they're going to be genuine, if you will, but a lot are. I think a lot of the people who are coming forward are genuine because they realize, wait a minute, what was I doing in the first place? Why was I even on that freaking hate train in the first place? And I really miss this lady while she was gone. And she really is talented. I think a lot of people are at that point right now. Anyways, I think it's something new. It's something exciting. I don't know what's to come. The thing I'm looking forward to, as far as Nicki Minaj, to be completely honest with you, is her documentary. I can't wait to watch that documentary. Nicki Minaj did a documentary. I'm into documentaries, period. I love documentaries, especially on rock stars, rappers, rock stars, whatever. I'm into their documentaries because generally, it's a serious story that they have behind the success. because the best artists out there, they have a past that is so interesting, and they've overcome so much. And when you hear their story, it usually makes you love them that much more, because you're like, damn, I didn't know they went through all that. They went through all that just to be, where they are today. So a lot of these artists, they have gone through a lot. A lot of them are survivors, So, and I love it. I love it. A lot of them started off at the bottom, you know. Um, it's just amazing to me. Some of them did like the little small circuits, and they had to, play in very small venues, uh, the bottom of the bottom. And now they're the biggest stars in the world. I just think that's amazing. So I love documentaries, especially when the documentary is true. Now the documentary I don't like, the documentaries that I don't like are the ones that gloss over and try to make themselves look all polished and perfect. We don't want to see that. We want the grit. We want the dirt. And that's fine. We already see you polished now. We want to see where you came from. We want to hear all the dirt of how you got to where you are today. That's what people want to see. So I'm excited to see how Nicki Minaj is going to do this documentary. I'm hoping that she really gives us some gems, and we really see how she got to where she is today. The one thing I will say is that I feel like the Nicki Minaj, I started really, the hate train is what made me really start looking at Nicki Minaj and listening to her music even more, just trying to figure out why is this going on? Like, it was just so bizarre to me. So it drew me to her more, when they started this weird hate train. So I guess I say that to say, we'll see what happens. We'll see what's to come. I'm not necessarily saying that. I want to also add that I'm not necessarily saying that Nicki Minaj didn't do things to people to upset them or to make them feel a way. But I am saying that there was a lot of shady stuff going on with that hate train. There were a lot of things going on that were shady. So I don't know. I just don't think that it was all warranted. Nobody is perfect, including your fave. My fave. My fave is not perfect. I've said many times my favorite artist is Prince. And I spent my whole life thinking that Prince was a person who had never done drugs, would never ever do a drug, was anti-drug drinking, he was clean life, so my whole life, that's how I thought of Prince, and because I looked up to him, so much as a child, I always thought like, well, I don't want to do that either, like, it's just funny, and then you find out, oh, well, this person may have been a little different than you thought. And I found out other things too about, after Prince died, some things came out as I was watching, like, information about him. And I'm not going to go into details, but I found out, wow, he wasn't exactly what I thought he was. And that's because, in closing, I'm going to tell you this. Celebrities, I think we put too much stock into the salaciousness of it all, or the perfection of it all. There's the salacious side where we put a lot into too, like, oh my God, they were doing this, what were they doing? Oh my gosh, we put a lot into that. And I think as a society, when I say we, I mean like as a society, a lot is put on that, and a lot is put into the perfection. Like, oh, they're perfect. They don't do this, or they do that, or what have you. A lot is put into that, like the expectation is there when they're just human like we are. They make mistakes just like your family member makes a mistake, your friend makes a mistake, you make a mistake. These people make mistakes too, but the difference is with celebrities, And I'll say this in closing. Celebrities have the ability to put out to you what they want to put out to you. So when they're doing an interview, they have the ability to sit there and tell you what you want to hear or what they want you to hear. And they can spin it in a way to where you believe that this is who they are, when in all actuality, most of them are probably nothing like the persona that they put on, they put on TV, They're not like that. They are probably totally different from what you see. Because they have training, they have, publicists, they have managers. They have an image to uphold. They're not going to sit up here and tell you, oh, I was in bed depressed for 2 months, or oh, I just did all these drugs, or oh, I was drinking all night. They're not going to sit up here and tell you, well, some might, but for the most part, they're not going to sit up and tell you, especially the big stars. When they're first getting into the business, sometimes they kind of like tell you a little bit more, they're a little bit more open. Once they make those millions, honey, it's tight-lipped, and they are, polished for that camera. And when that camera's on, they give you what they want to give you. They give you an image of what they want you to believe that they are. And no less, no more. That is what it is. So we can't really sit here and bank on anything with a human being because you don't know them. People swear up and down, no, that's da-da-da-da. They wouldn't do that. And it's like, you've never even met this person. They're just someone that you are a fan of. How do you know? You don't know. They're giving you what they need to give you and the image that they want to portray. They have a way of making that come to life. And that is what they give us. And it is what it is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I haven't been on in a while, so this is a long video and I was rambling. Thanks for allowing me to ramble. This whole thing has been mind-boggling to me. Just how people have been jumping on this Nicki Love Train lately, and it's just been mind-boggling. But, not in a bad way, I don't think. I think it's a good thing. I think it needs to end, and I think she should be able to, her and Cardi and Megan and everybody, just let everybody do their thing. And, if you don't want to collab, don't collab. But I think everyone should be able to do their thing without this huge hate train, trying to bring someone down. But anyway, it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit that like button. Peace.